did my PhD in Sydney, Australia. I started with that 2.5 years ago. And the idea was to do a PhD on big data. But then I was introduced in more detail to blockchain during a workshop. And I really got to know blockchain, and I thought this is such a paradigm shift. This is such a transformative technology that I want to be more involved. So I shifted my PhD to blockchain, and that's how it all started. A lot of people still see Bitcoin equals blockchain, which obviously is not the case. It's only one application, and most of the books out there are on Bitcoin or on cryptocurrencies, or they are on how blockchain can be used for financial services. But there's really not a book that focuses on how can blockchain be used to improve our world. But that's what we focused on. The way we looked at blockchain is by understanding, first of all, getting a deep understanding of what this technology is and what it is capable in doing. The technology that is behind blockchain, or the concept of blockchain, which is a decentralized society or decentralized infrastructure, that contributes to helping to solve these issues. It is, of course, there are more. You need more aspects to solving these big problems. It's only technology is only one part of it. But that we really believe also when we did the research for the book that the more we dove into it, the more we saw that blockchain really has a chance to help solve these issues. Especially when the technology develops more and more and more, we'll see that it will become easier to apply this technology. I think they're both equally important. I've been into big data for about 6 years now, and what I've noticed that these technologies take time. 6 years ago I thought that big data was going to change the world, and it does, but it takes a long time. Same we'll see happening with blockchain. The technology is very new, and we're just getting started there. Especially where you have the convergence of big data and blockchain, that's going to be really interesting to see what's happening if you have the insights and as well as an immutable, verifiable, and traceable data. So I think big data in itself can contribute a lot to solving these issues. Blockchain as well, where they combine even more. But yeah, it's still a long way to go. Well, I think that the problem is when the internet was created in the 1990s, or the web in the 1960s and 70s. The thing is that it was created by a small group of people, and they trusted each other because they knew each other. So, a beautiful web with some great standards, but they unfortunately forgot a few standards because they didn't have to, deal with people they didn't know, because only people who they knew were part of the network. That was a very small group of people involved, and well, we know how the web evolved since then. But the problem was that we did not manage to create an identity system which allows you to use your offline identity in an online environment, and hence we have all the problems of identities being stolen with all very, very scary consequences. The concept that we describe in the book, which is called a self-sovereign identity, which is an identity that is controlled by you and not by someone else. That is absolutely required if you want to bring the internet to the next level. The idea where you have a solid pod where you have your own data stored and you're in full control of your own data. That is the missing part of the web that we need. Where you all of a sudden you as a person are in full control of your own identity, of your own data, and not the Facebooks of this world, so the Googles of this world. The concept of a self-sovereign identity is relatively new, as is everything in blockchain. But it will still take time to make sure that it is implemented across societies. In terms of your question, what do I use? Well, when these technologies are not yet that usable, I just try to protect myself with very strong passwords and those kind of things. Not yet. I think we need. That's one of the challenges that we described in the book as well. Is that the technology is still very young, and we need to create the complete ecosystem, a complete decentralized ecosystem, and we haven't. It is a work in progress, but I do see that technology and the technological developments are going really, really fast. It's so hard to keep up with all the news coming all the time of what new is coming now, and blockchain 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. Some say we're already in 4.0. It goes so incredibly fast. But the potential of the concept of a decentralized society that has the potential to solve many of the help to solve many of the issues that we discussed. That would be a real challenge to explain to him, but because he probably wouldn't want to listen anyway. No, I think the idea is that the convergence of different technologies enables different solutions. So, for example, with blockchain, it allows you for a better carbon credits exchange system. That's for one thing. Carbon credits is an important issue to reduce the effects of climate change. The second one is that it allows also individuals to start trading energy with each other. So then they can sort of create this microgrid separate from the national grid, where they can just trade energy among each other, and that helps. Instead of 5 people using renewable energy, but that's also a contribution. And especially when you have also the Internet of Things combined, it enables us to create smart grids. A smart grid that knows what kind of devices are connected to the network, how much energy do they need, for how long, when, why, etc. And that's going to be extremely important to have. Really, the convergence of these technologies is what truly enables a paradigm shift in every industry, especially also the energy sector. The energy problem of blockchain is a Bitcoin problem, not a blockchain problem. And that's why that's one of the reasons why I don't believe in Bitcoin, because as you rightly say, a network that uses more energy than the country of Ireland or Denmark combined to solve literally nothing is insane. But that's just one concept of a blockchain. You have different types of consensus mechanisms. For example, proof of stake is one of them, which uses a lot less energy. And there's more consensus mechanisms coming which use even fewer energy. And I think that's the idea. Bitcoin is a proof of work that was good for what it was developed in first place. But honestly, in times of climate change, we shouldn't spend so much energy on useless calculations. I don't believe I do believe in cryptocurrency. I don't believe in Bitcoin, because I think the only value of Bitcoin should be zero, and that is one of the reasons is because of its energy problem. The other reasons is that its transaction costs are way too high. That's still too much if you want to do small transactions. The same goes with the speed. 7 transactions per second doesn't work. And finally, also with the we think that Bitcoin is a decentralized network, but it isn't. Because of the way Bitcoin is created, we have mining pools, and there are 6 or 7 mining pools who have more than 51% of the mining power. That's not decentralized. So from a cryptocurrency perspective, I don't believe in Bitcoin. I do believe in cryptocurrency. I hope so. If we can create a world without corruption, I think that would be very good for society. And I think with blockchain and with cryptography being used to create trust among actors, you can rule out corruption. And I think, of course, if you want to commit corruption, you can always do so. But I think if you use blockchain and you know where the data comes from, you know where the transaction comes from, you can trace that, and you can control it. I think you have a much better chance to reduce corruption, and I think that would be good for society. I think it is difficult, to change the way we work and the way we behave as humans in our world. And people are corrupt because there's an incentive to be corrupt often. And if we can take away that incentive and make life better without being corrupt, I think that would be a good thing. I don't think it will be easy to achieve that, far from. But I think if we have a blockchain offers us a chance to at least go into the right direction. The idea is that once you have the access to data to understand what's going on, and you have the tools to analyze that data, and you can be certain that the data that you use in your analysis is not fraudulent, has not been corrupted, etc. That's when you can really start to see creating value. That's when you can see that, for example, with fair trade within your supply chain, you know that the data in your supply chain is correct, and that fair trade can really become fair. So I think the power of blockchain is where you have where you can create trust in the trustless environment, where you can create transactions between individual organizations and even things without the need for a third-party intermediary. And I think that's where the power is. And big data, when you have then an enormous amount of data where you know that the data is correct, and you can easily share it with your industry partners to gain more insights, and then you can really see the challenge and the opportunity that is ahead of us. Well, the blockchain can be used in every industry and every type of organization. However, not every problem requires a blockchain solution. A blockchain solution is required when you have multiple parties collaborating with each other, where there's a trust problem, which often there is, and when that transaction is taking place. Blockchain allows you to collaborate with industry partners. And then that's where blockchain comes into place, because all of a sudden you have, as a company, you can work together with other companies in a trustworthy manner. But blockchain, you don't need blockchain for all your internal processes. And I think that's something that people should remember, that blockchain is a great solution and it's a great technology, but it's not a solution for everything. It's just a solution for a very specific type of problem. I think it's a game changer, and it will also change the way we interact with each other. That concept of trust has been lost in our world, because we have such a big global village, and I think blockchain enables us to bring back that trust using cryptography, using mathematics, so that we can trust each other. And I think trust is the number one key requirement for collaboration, and if you have a global collaboration, that will, I think, reduce the line between countries as well. I'm a big fan of globalization, and I think if we're able to collaborate with each other, we get to know each other, and it all adds up. So yes, I do think that blockchain is a paradigm shift that will change how we are and how we work together. My pleasure. Thank you very much as well, and have a great day as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.